Hi Virgo. Welcome to your Pisces season reading. Soon there will be a full moon in your sign as the sun moves into Pisces in 2 days. First up we have the Six of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Perception. There is a way that you have been, a way that you present yourself, your the preferred version of you that you would like people to perceive. It's changing. This full moon, it's asking you whether the face you present or the thing that you present to the world, does it need to be shifted? Does it need to be more honest? Do you need to take some space from the version of yourself that you have been presenting for quite some time? Not that it's dishonest, you've purposefully kept things, no, but perhaps your internal has changed so much that it's no longer representative of who you are. And so you collect the pieces that you still very much like. You know, some of you are never going to stop wearing all black. You keep the things you like, but you allow the full moon to expose you to yourself. You allow some things that you've perhaps kept hidden because you didn't want to be perceived that way. The larger question here being, do you like your presentation? Does it work? Does it do anything positive for you? Does it suit you? Is it successful? Has it not been so successful lately? What is your presentation attracting? And have you liked what it is attracted? Or has it been a little bit of a mixed bag? Were there a few instances in there that you wish hadn't happened? Does it make you wonder? I mean, it's a very sentimental point of view, right? But it's that time of year. The sun moves into Pisces and we're overcome with emotion. And you particularly are overcome by the truth. Now, in this particular case, the truth is about you, and it's about getting better, evolving. There's not much selfishness to this period for you at all. You're just in your head. Your partners may see it as selfish. They may see it as an excuse for you to isolate, which I think is a perfect opportunity to ask them why you think you'd want to isolate, which you probably already do because you're hella smart. But your unwillingness to really mingle right now is because you're in your head about this. You want things a certain way. And perhaps right now, for many reasons, that picture has been disturbed. Maybe you disturbed it. Maybe you don't want to do things according to that particular image that you had in your head of what a happy life is, a happy work environment, a happy family, a happy love life, a happy, childhood for children, for your children, whatever it is. You had a very, dare I say, conventional image in your mind of what that was. It involves prosperity and respect and stability. And the kind of stability that leaves the mind and the heart open to pursue the finer things, okay? The more elevated things. This is where you thought you were going. but that picture has been disturbed, whether it's by your own honesty through mid-February to mid-March, whether it's just your own, these epiphanies you're having internally. Cool. For some of you, it's the destruction of that image in other ways. Some only you within that image don't make sense anymore. That needs to be updated. For some, it's the whole image that's been disturbed. So now I have to imagine a new world. I have to do some world building in my mind now and create a new existence. And then I have to put myself in that. And then I have to imagine who I will be there. And it gives me the chance to really ask myself where I'm shooting myself in the foot. Is the way you desire to be seen actually good for you? Does it bring you anything positive, or does it bring you attention? Does it bring you anything positive, or does it make life a little easier? And then in other ways, a lot harder. So this again is, even if you're talking about family, children, marriages, whatever it is, it's not small things. It's not you dipping out to go party. It's not you being irresponsible. It's not you isolating just to punish your partner. So if your partner is thinking any of these things, reassure them that you're on a roller coaster of realizations right now. Now, if they don't want to listen and they don't care once you voice that, well, Mercury has moved into Pisces across from you. So if you have that conversation with them and they are not helpful, supportive, loving, the version of you they're going to get is quite sour, but very smart and very cutting. They should know better. Okay? Because anyone actually who talks to you now should know better. So the sun tomorrow will move across from you in a place, if it's your natal sun in opposition to you, if you're a Virgo rising, then in that 7th house, you have Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, and the sun. Okay? So anyone who is not supportive right now is not someone who is suitable for long-term commitment. Whether you're already committed to them or it's something new or something, not so serious, they're not appropriate for long-term commitment, because if they can't take your watery side, then they can't take it. Yeah, Virgos are all fun and games, as long as you're the charming, quick-witted, smart one who's hypersexual and beautiful, right? But as soon as you start having feelings, people realize those are Pisces feelings. Well, they get very uncomfortable, don't they? Now, all of a sudden, you're not the reliable one. Now, you're not the one who's efficient. Now, you're not the one who, quite frankly, will get it done. Now, you're an annoyance. Now, you're getting in the way. Now, you're being drama. Now, you're being emotional. So, if anyone tries to make you feel during this time, because that introspection, it will hit you like a bus tomorrow. All of a sudden, your mind track changes like a train. When it's so cool when you watch a train, they flip that thing and the train just goes, and you don't even realize when you're on the train that it switched tracks. That's tomorrow. And it's wonderful because you've already had almost 4 days of Mercury already being there. So if you felt yourself over the last 4 days starting to get introspective, then in a way that's very emotional, not just introspection like, I'm a Virgo moon, I understand, like, let's evolve, let's think about this and turn into an even better version of ourselves. I got that. Ooh, this is not that. This is like something, grabbing you by the neck. This is sit down and think about how you are the one in charge of your life and how your presentation is attracting and repelling. And that presentation goes from the way you look, the way you dress, the way you speak. I've had a somewhat tense relationship with my nail tech for a little bit. Now it's my own fault. She's Japanese and I'm late, and that doesn't work. And it shouldn't work. So I started taking Japanese. And so every time I go to her, even though I've been going to her for more than a year, we don't really speak. The couple of times we have talked is when she's told me that I was really late. I have realized this, and in an effort to be respectful, the past 2 times that I've been there have been on time and, just... So, excuse me. The last time I was there, I let her know that I started taking Japanese lessons, and she asked me why. And then she kind of grilled me a little bit and asked me some questions. What anime did I like, and what kind of Japanese food do I like, and why was I going to Japan next year, inshallah. And the more appropriate the answers were, the more she warmed up. And we ended up talking the whole time. Now, I think and she did my nails so beautifully, it's like unbelievable. They're amazing. So, I think I realized that whatever coldness existed in our relationship was my fault. I got that. But I don't think I realized it to an extent that would make me want to change it. And then when I did put in just a little more effort to change that situation, it yielded so much beauty and positivity and new energy. It was me. It was my presentation. It was the way that I was behaving. Now, it's a simplistic example, I know. Don't be late, I got it. No, but it was more than that. I don't want to be somebody who's late. I don't want anybody thinking that they're not important or that their time is less important than mine because I have ADHD and I have a hard time getting out the door. That's just not a good enough excuse anymore. It's not really an excuse at all, but it's not a good enough justification. It's not a reason anymore. I think becoming disciplined in other ways also has helped, but honestly, the strongest driving factor was not wanting to be seen that way. Not wanting to be perceived as somebody disrespectful and therefore not worth speaking to or being friends with. I don't want to do things that make me unpleasant to be around. The other example I can give you is my older brother and my sister-in-law. I'm not speaking to them right now. And I have my reasons. I have an enormous amount of self-respect, and sometimes it gets in the way with people. So I saw my sister-in-law in the elevator, or the elevator opened, and she was standing there, and I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to take down to the basement to recycle. And I said, yeah, you can go ahead. And she was like, are you sure? I said, yeah, totally. Yep. And I actually looked away. It took an enormous amount of self-love for me to do that and not just fall back into what I considered to be like a really toxic pattern. And that self-love and that needing to put myself before the family, it gave me a sense of freedom that's very hard won, that I rarely feel with my family. And many of you are having this same desire for freedom. And it does mean having to break some rules family-wise that perhaps you thought you'd never break. Whether it's with siblings or a partner, friendships. I can't be perceived anymore as somebody who randomly got in the elevator with my sister-in-law and then got into like a massive argument with her and started yelling and screaming. I can't be that person. You know why? Because I'm not that person. That's why. I can't be that person. But if you push me to be who I'm not, then it starts a cascade effect where I just continue to act like someone I'm not because you're pushing me up against the wall. So it's my job to protect myself so I don't act out of character by not allowing myself to be put in positions where you are going to see the worst of me or the worst coping mechanism I have, which is then I'm going to come for your neck. Stop bothering me, right? So, in that same way, there are many of you who are choosing right now to break from your family, from a partner, from a friendship, from a situationship, where being around that person or entertaining those opportunities takes you so far outside of yourself that it's embarrassing. You don't even recognize yourself. Like, it's not worth it anymore. Now, what happens when you get to this part, when you get to, ooh, I love when it happens. Now, when you get to this part, people get so bothered. As soon as you go here, everybody wants to do things to get a reaction out of you because they can't stand that you found your peace. They can't stand when mutable energy just calms down for a minute, it gets introspective and loses itself in that reverie and lets go of the rope. It's like when you leave the situation, the electricity in the situation leaves with you. And most of your relationships can be with people, any type of interpersonal relationship is with people who need that like electric banter between you to sustain themselves. So when you pull all that electricity back and you go hermit, people will come into your cave looking for you and poke you to try to get you to fight with them and try to get a reaction out of you because then they can start that electrical exchange again. So it's possible that the more you feel like isolating and the more at peace you feel and really you just need the downtime. A full moon for you is heavy as fuck. Pisces season is heavy as fuck. The combination of the two, this is the time of year where we're always doing our deepest thinking, our deepest feeling, our deepest changes. You know, the sun is in the house of, in the planet of, or in the sign of death and endings and everything else, 12th house. And there you are with the moon in your sign shining such a different sort of light on your side of the zodiac. Everyone will be taking this time to see their part. Because the thing is, if I fix my part, now if I am showing up on time and I'm being really nice and I'm expressing a deep and real interest in your culture, and you continue to be cold, and that would be weird, right? That would be awful. But I can't really say anything if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So when you get right and you start doing everything the way it should be done, then when people, or when you just pull back and do what you have to do and do the thinking and do the revamping, and you know that you're not a part of any sort of back and forth or tension or struggle, or you've let go, then when someone does not act appropriately, you get to be gracious and you get to bow out. You know, there is a version of me who was always late to get to the nail place, and if she would have asked me if I wanted to get in the elevator, I would have cursed that bitch out. But no, because when I'm pulling back and just ghost, and you show your ass, that's when I can respectfully bow out in your face and say, no, we're not doing this again. I don't speak to you. And that will be your punishment. Nothing else. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry. There's no get back. There's no... your entire punishment for doing whatever you did to me is that you don't get to speak to me anymore. Because I'm doing things right and you're showing your ass. Well, okay. Good then. Am I justified in the steps that I will take now? Because whenever people fuck with Virgos, they're just thinking of right now. They're not thinking of the future. Am I now justified in the steps that I need to take? Because what? Because me being calm right now and not doing anything isn't because I've actually changed as a person. It's the change I wish to make in how I am perceived, and the instances that will not occur because you can't take me out of who I am anymore. That's what's happened. So me bowing out, Virgo moon, Virgo sun, Virgo rising, me bowing out does not mean it's over. It just means it's over between us. My karmic work has just begun. Like, how I feel about this situation has just begun, because now I see that you were always the problem. That's the amazing thing about bowing out. This is none of my business anymore. I got a lot to think about. This isn't on my list. Got a lot of priorities. This isn't one of them. When you do that and they come back with bullshit, that's when you realize, wow, this was always you. I need to change how I present so I don't attract any more of this fucking bullshit right here. What do I need to do? That's Pisces season. February Pisces season, what do I need to do? March Pisces season, okay, and this is how you do it. Do it. And then you just start doing, because you're so good at that. You look at situations objectively. You see where you are getting triggered into either being a villain, a monster, the problem. You've excused yourself. The other side has now reacted desperately because they want a reaction. You have not given one. You are now within your rights to completely pull away. And then you just start working on how to make sure that that never is what you attract again. In any relationship. And you just work and work and work and work and work. And it's so great. And you love it. And it's very full of celebration. Your family loves it. Your friends love it. We love when you have a mission. When you have a goal, When you're on your get back, it's amazing. You're full of energy. So you're full of energy. Even though it's, deep in Pisces season, it's a different kind of energy. It's based in a kind of watery vengefulness, but only self-improvement type vengefulness. Something like, now I intend on being so much hotter and so much more successful than I was. Just so you can watch. And I'm going to look great while I do it. Oh my gosh, no. Yes. Okay, let's talk work and money and do another shuffle for work and money and physical and mental health in the extended. I'll see you there. The links for that are below, as is the link for private readings. Also below, it's through Cameo. Happy half-year birthday.